welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host Derek Stevenson and the Kansas Jayhawks. They did it, man. They they sent the hottest team in the tournament home packing, man, and that was the North Carolina Tar Heels. And y'all know that I had said that I thought it was going to be a fast-paced game. There's going to be a lot of transitional plays, and I thought Kansas was going to come out on top. But really and truthfully, that was just me. I was just hoping that North Carolina didn't win their seventh championship. To be honest with you, um, you know, early in the game, man, I was watching it, and I was like, I was a little disappointed because I was like, man, North Carolina's getting ready to blow them out, man, and it just looked like they was going to be able to win pretty easy, and the reason why is North Carolina is just dominant on the glass, man, and when you got somebody like Baycott, you know, even though he was a little gimpy, but a dude, even when he's injured, when he can clean the glass that way, you just always got a shot because, like I said, he makes up for a whole lot of North Carolina's mistakes. And, along with the other big men, like I believe North Carolina might have had an insane amount of offensive rebounds. Excuse me. They might have had like 24 offensive rebounds or something like that. It was a wild amount of offensive rebounds. And when you get that many second chances, man, you just always going to, probably have a strong performance. And it just like they jumped out on them, man, and it was starting to look real ugly. And then just when you thought Kansas was going to lay down, Kansas just started putting an insane amount of pressure on North Carolina, and they started outrunning North Carolina and fought their way all the way back in the game and ended up squeaking out with the victory. And it's just wild to me because, I feel like Kansas had some struggles this year, just like North Carolina. And it was almost like they kind of finished the season the same way. Like they both got hot at the right time. And, but like everybody says, Kansas plays in the Big 12, and it's not really a whole lot over there to challenge them. So they always going to have a really strong regular season, even when they have like some letdown moments, like when Kentucky stomped them. And they're going to be able to get good seeds and, put themselves in a favorable position. And they did what they were supposed to do and got all the way to the championship game. And it was just looking real bad, man. And I think, Bill Self had made a comment to the guys. I forgot what he said. It was something along the lines of where he was referring to, how much they was down by when they played Memphis in the championship game when they last won. And I guess he was trying to like inspire his kids that like, you might be down, but we still got a whole another half of basketball. And whatever he said to him, man, it worked because they came out in the second half and they was a different team. And I don't know if they just started playing better or if North Carolina just ran out of juice. They started had a couple of injuries, like Baycott, he retweaked his ankle. He had hurt it the game before, and he probably was, he probably wasn't 100%. He probably was favoring it a little bit, and then he ended up hurting it again, and it's just hard to win when you ain't got a guy like that out on the floor. And the thing about college basketball today, to me, it's not really a whole lot of great teams. Because most of the time, the players don't stay long enough to become great players. So normally, it's like a flash in the pan with your success. Like you have a group of guys and you maximize them real quick, then you have to start off with another group. You never really get superstar players that have the ability to go to the NBA that usually come back. Like a Tim Duncan or, Tyler Hansborough, some, people like that played late into their career. I know it's, a lot more than that, but that's just two that came off the top of my head. But nowadays, most of the guys, when they feel like they superstars in college or when they have potential to be drafted high, they leave. So you never really develop these strong teams, which is what gives a whole lot of these Cinderella teams hope, like St. Peter's, being able to beat us in the first round and, mess the whole tournament up for me. Because Kentucky's not ever really able to really develop a real strong team. Like, you don't hardly get 2, 4, you don't really get a handful of guys that you can say been there for 3 or 4 years, played together, been in the tournament a couple of times. And that's not just at Kentucky. That's pretty much everywhere now. Some of the mid-major schools, that's why a lot of them, I think, are having a better chance because they get a group of guys and they stay together and develop together for several years. But with this transfer portal stuff, it's going to be interesting to see because now I'm not even for sure if that's going to be an advantage for the mid-majors anymore, because now when you see this whole like St. Peter's situation where, Coach Holloway, he gets an opportunity to coach his alma mater, Seton Hall. So as soon as the tournament's over, boom, he's gone. And then, all three of his guards, announced that they enter in the transfer portal. And I feel like this is going to happen a whole lot now. When you get these like hot teams that come out of nowhere and make some noise, like a St. Peter's, like the coach is going to jump on any opportunity that he gets, and he's going to bring the players that he feels comfortable with them and try to build or recreate that success fast at the new school. And then you're going to have teams like LSU that's going to just get dismantled. If a coach gets fired or if they have a bad season, a lot of these players are going to be looking to leave. And it's going to basically make everybody start going through the whole, process that Coach Cal in Kentucky has been going through ever since he's been at Kentucky. Coach K done learned, he had to learn how to deal with that over the last several years. But it's getting to the point now where every school is going to have to deal with this now. They're going to have to get used to the turnover rate with these players because, like I seen even female athletes are jumping on it now. Like I seen a female, and now she's entering I forgot what her name is, but she's announcing that she's entering the transfer portal. So a lot of these kids are just going to be moving and shaking, trying to figure out what the best fit for them is, where they can go and maximize their ability, where they can get the most playing time. Like, you're going to just see so much changeover. And that's one of the things that really is upsetting the Kentucky fan base probably more than anything, is they never really get to connect with these players. And now I think at all levels, you're going to start seeing that, like, a lot of fan bases are going to have to deal with this feeling, because it's going to be like, okay, you went to this team and you didn't get the opportunity you thought, so now you're going to leave and go to this team. And it's just going to be so much mixing and matching, and so much, the recruitment is going to have to go to a whole nother level now, because now you're going to be having to scout players that's in high school, and you're going to be having to scout players that may potentially leave that's already in school. Like, you got, Deontay Allen that's leaving Kentucky, and he's got a list of schools that's interested in him, and now that means, they're going to have, whatever school he chooses is going to have to readjust their recruitment to fit him, and we're going to have to readjust our recruitment to fill the space for him. And it's just going to make college basketball really confusing, man. And I just think the era of having great teams is going to be over. It's just going to be a crapshoot every year. Like, you're going to have to roll the dice and just see who comes out on top. Because I feel like North Carolina nor Kansas really was one of the best teams all year long. Kansas might have been a little bit better than North Carolina, but realistically, it's just gonna always be a gamble, man. and you just never really gonna know what's going on. I feel like you're gonna have a whole lot of coaching changes, and we'll have to see how this shakes out, man. Like I said, the NCAA's been trying to get Kansas for the last 2 or 3 years, so we'll even see what happens with them, man. They could, you know, uh, supposedly they're under investigation for, like 5 or 6 infractions with the whole Adidas scandal, and who knows, man? If they end up discovering something, they may even have to vacate this championship. But like I said, I tip my hat off to Kansas. They outlasted North Carolina. They turned up the pressure in the second half, and they really got out in transition and outran North Carolina. And unfortunately, even with North Carolina dominating the glass like they did, they just still wasn't able to get the victory. But you know, both teams had a great run, man. And overall, I say I really enjoyed this tournament. Um, like I said, that's the one thing about March is you just never know how it's going to shake up. I'm sure North Carolina through the mid, or even I'll say the beginning part of the season through midway, I'm sure they never had any hopes that they were going to be in the championship game. They were ready to fire Hubert Davis. Um, and then they ended up in the championship game, and probably most of their fans, and then even people like me, myself, expecting them to win another championship. Like I said, I was praying. I had my fingers crossed that they didn't get that seventh banner because I didn't want them to catch up to Kentucky. And fortunately for Kentucky fans, they didn't get that yet. So they still, they still got a little ways to go before they catch up with us. But if we don't get on our game, man, they could make they could close the gap real quickly. So hopefully, Kentucky will get back in the mix, man. But as of right now, we got to tip our hat to the 2022 national champion Kansas Jayhawks, man. But anyway, that's all I really got to say about it. How did you feel about the tournament? Did you think it was a great tournament? Do you think college basketball is trending in the right direction? Just let me know your thoughts and feelings about it. And like I said, always like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll get back at it again. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.